Hi there, welcome to the Tech Talk Theater. I'm Andy Shuman, and I am a contributing editor for Contemporary Pediatrics. I'm also an adjunct assistant professor of pediatrics, Dartmouth Medical School, and a member of the executive committee of the provisional section on advances in therapeutics and technology. By way of disclosure, I have nothing to disclose in regards to the products and applications I will be discussing today. I'm also quite opinionated, so views expressed are my own and do not represent any of the organizations that I belong to. So I'm going today to talk about some of the many mobile applications available for pediatric practice. I think it's interesting that in the Tech Talk Theater we're actually watching this presentation on a mobile device. So quickly, to talk about the origin of mobile technology in the workplace and elsewhere. It was just 4 years ago that the iPhone was introduced, and it was truly a magical device because it featured a touch screen interface as well as a superior web browser. A year later, the iTunes App Store was introduced, and pretty much the rest is history. Android phones were introduced by a variety of competitors in 2008. And as of today, approximately 60 million smartphones are in use in the USA, which represents about 25% of the mobile phone market. As we may remember, it was actually last year that the iPad was introduced in January of 2010. Androids were later introduced later in that year, and to date about 30 million tablets have been sold worldwide. So if you have an iPad, you may be aware that as of today there's about 500,000 apps available for the iPad. Android apps are slowly catching up, and there's about 350,000 apps available. And at one of Steve Jobs' last Tech Talks, he said that there were over 15 billion apps sold by Apple as of July of this year. In my talks with many of the providers of mobile applications, there seems to be a preference among medical professionals, at least, for the iPad and iPhone devices for reasons that are unclear. So to present an overview of mobile medical applications, there are drug databases, e-books, e-journals that we can use. There are calculators we can use in clinical practice. We can get medical information quickly by using a variety of medical applications. We can provide informational material for patients. There are EMRs now emerging that use tablet and mobile devices. There are even patient kiosks that run on iPads and a variety of assorted devices that use mobile technology. So just to start by naming a few, at the top of many of your lists of drug databases has to be Hippocrates. It employs iOS, Android, RIM smartphones. There's an online version as well. What's nice is that the basic version is free, full-featured, and what I particularly like about it, it provides insurance copay information, and it provides very few clicks to get at the information you need for pediatric dosing, side effects, etc. If you get the enhanced version, there's all sorts of other utilities available in the Hippocrates system. You can look up PEDS dosing, you can access calculators, disease information. It's well worth the investment of $200 per year for the enhanced version. A close second is LexiComp, in my view. It's available for the iPad devices, iOS, Android. It's not free. It costs comparably to the Hippocrates. Its tablet version is quite nice. Hippocrates does not at this moment have a tablet version, but it's coming out shortly. So there are additionally enhanced versions online for LexiComp. So if you have the money to buy two, I would definitely invest in Hippocrates and LexiComp as your drug databases of choice. This is a picture on the following slide of the LexiComp assortment of resources. It's nice because they have resources dedicated to lab values, pregnancy and lactation, breastfeeding and drug compatibility. There's really a lot of resources available in LexiComp. When I go on rounds in the nursery, there are a couple apps that I find indispensable. One of them is called Jaundice and the other is called Billy Calc. When I round in the nursery, I can quickly use these applications for determining the level of risk associated with bilirubin levels, determining what I need to do. They're very similar, and you can access risk levels and recommendations from the Academy of Pediatrics in terms of what you should do about phototherapy levels. The AAP has licensed a particularly good application that I recommend to parents. It's called KidsDoc. It was developed with the cooperation of Barton Schmidt, as we all know, one of the leading resources for the pediatrician. So when parents leave the hospital, I recommend that they download KidsDoc because it provides lots of information about commonplace questions they will have, avoiding an unnecessary call possibly to the pediatric office. It tells you when to see the pediatrician, what to do, to treat bee stings, cuts, asthma attacks, etc. It's well worth investigating, and it provides lots of mobile information for parents. Two competing products that provide evidence-based information for pediatricians. You're probably familiar with them. One is Up to Date, which is a comprehensive package that's available to most academic institutions. First Consult is a very comprehensive evidence-based resource that pediatricians would probably like as well. The interface is a little bit different. I find it a little bit easier to navigate. They're both comparably priced. And I'm very glad as a member of the Academy of Pediatrics that the Academy has invested so much time and effort and money into bringing the most of its resources online and into the mobile arena. As you're probably aware, the Academy now has Pediatrics Online. It has a interface that's easy to navigate. One could read the abstracts online quite easily and then click on a button and get the full article, plugging in your membership number and password. Going on a little bit further with AAP Resources, the Pediatric Digest gives you a RSS feed of some of the major developments in pediatrics. And you click on them and you get a quick resource and review of what's the latest and greatest in terms of news. Moving onward, AAP News, speaking of news, is very nice because it's so readable online and very easy to navigate. Unlike pediatrics, you can flip pages quite easily. You don't have to navigate to a particular article. So you just turn pages, you can read it and relax, and prior issues are available. So when you accumulate an AAP e-library, all this information is available to you. Okay. And I've taken some of my CME money and I wisely invested it in developing my own e-library. There's a limited number of books available through the AAP bookstore, but it's quite nice and well displayed. So I've actually accumulated quite a collection now. What's nice about having an e-library is you can always bring it with you. The e-books are never out of date, and you can search and access information quite readily. I was very pleased that both the NRP Instructor's Guide and the regular manual are now available in the e-bookstore. There are lots of medical applications that display news and information. One of the best I found is MedPage Today. It will send you email alerts of news items relevant to your specialty or subspecialty. And during the AAP convention here at the NCE, I've received a number of e-alerts from MedPage letting me know of new announcements coming out of the AAP office. So that's quite nice. In terms of medical news and additional applications, many pediatricians are unaware of ReachMD. ReachMD is a radio station dedicated to providing CME to physicians of all specialties. It's on the Sirius and XM station, and you can listen to podcasts, download them now through a mobile application called ReachMD, and there's literally thousands of podcasts available for CME credit. Many of them are pertinent to what's happening in pediatric medicine at this time. Medscape has been a resource for pediatricians for years and years. It's affiliated with eMedicine Online, and it provides a free drug database as well as discussion of diseases and conditions. It has a forum online. It really is worth checking out if you have not yet tried it. If you work in a hospital environment, or even if you work in the office, sometimes we face emergency conditions and it's hard to draw our memories back, but there are several applications that are worthwhile for pediatricians to download and invest in. One of the best is PediaSafe, which is available in both iPhone and iPad versions. What's nice, when you load the program, you input the patient's weight or age, and then it displays the patient's range of vital signs, ET tube sizes, medications for rapid sequence intubation, as well as other emergency type of medications that would be very helpful when you need to jar your memory in cases of emergency. A competing app is PediStat, available now only in the iPhone version, but it's nice because similar to PediSafe, you input the patient's age or weight, click on various entries, and it is coordinated with a Braslow tape for information on drug dosages and equipment sizes. Dr. Braslow himself has produced an iPad application called SafeDose. I've just seen it briefly. It looks like it's comprehensive. You input the patient's weight or Braslow tape color to gain access to drug dosages and patient vital signs, etc. What's also nice about mobile applications and mobile devices is that pediatricians can start to use these for interfacing with patients in the often environment, where you may be familiar with a program called Chattis, which provides resources for querying parents about behavior problems in their children. It presents them with Vanderbilt tests and so forth. So one could actually hold them, give them an iPad in kiosk mode, and they can fill out some forms while they're waiting for an office visit. What's nice about this is by the time they're ready for the visit, it just takes a few minutes to complete these forms. The program will tabulate the results for you and present you with the results by the time you see the patient. So it's good use of the patient's time in the waiting room, good use of your time, and this is a billable service as well. Okay? And in conclusion, I've actually gone quite fast. I didn't know that I would get through all these applications. There's really a wealth of material online. There's journals, especially things like Contemporary Pediatrics, which I write for. There's a lot of web accessible resources like derm101.com. And in our spare time, we can read the local newspaper and play Angry Birds. It's a good relief of time, of tension, and time well spent as well. Thank you.